Good morning, friends. Kerrie from Konversations at Kerrie's Korner. How are you on this new week? It's going to be a short week for me, and we're probably just going to be doing one main podcast, but then I'm going to follow up in the week with smaller videos. And the reason for that is this. This week we're going to be talking about joint replacement surgery and how far advanced we have come as a society. I am actually scheduled for shoulder replacement surgery on Wednesday. This is my second total replacement, as well as I've had two other semi surgeries on other parts of my body where I haven't had a full replacement, but I've had hardware put in. I'm becoming the bionic woman, as my family says. Unfortunately for me, this is my second go around with very severe arthritis. I've had two surgeries this year to try to fix the problem for my right shoulder, and unfortunately it did not work. And so now, because of the amount of damage in the shoulder joint from arthritis, I don't have a choice. This is my only option left. And so at 63, I feel like I've done a pretty good job getting to 63. I played a lot of sports when I was younger. Tennis, I swam, I played golf, I ran, I did aerobics. I did a lot in my youth. And, that all ends up taken its toll, and for me it has definitely taken its toll with arthritis, pretty severe arthritis. My left knee was replaced in 2015 because the joint died, basically. I had so much necrosis in that joint. This joint, we're not 100% sure what it looks like. Pretty good idea. I have what's called class 4 osteoarthritis, which is the worst rating you can have. To the extent that it's damaged the joint significantly enough, I am hopeful that this may just be a partial. I don't know. We won't know until we actually get in to surgery and the surgeon checks the entire status of the joint. And then we'll just, it's based upon obviously his skill level. Do I trust him? Yes. Am I confident that this is the right decision? Yes, because I've had injections. I've had two other surgeries, and it's better if you face this. It's better to do it the younger you are. So if it's something, even a year can make a huge difference in your recovery based upon the age of your diagnosis. So I would not encourage anybody to delay unless you're just not confident in your decision or in your provider, your surgeon. I'm extremely confident. I'm extremely satisfied. I feel like he has taken me to the point where we've tried everything else. We delayed to try to give my body time using injections to rectify. It just didn't work. And sometimes you just get to the point where that this is what you've got to have done. It's a scary proposition. Any replacement is scary, but there's so many advances now in our medical technology and our recoveries from these surgeries that some people, I've joined a support group, and some people with this surgery, have had really no major problems, and they've recovered very well. They've gotten through their physical therapy. They're back to their normal lives, and they're actually better because they're pain-free. And that's ultimately my goal. Is I want to be able to pick up my grandchildren and play with my grandchildren and do all the things that I like to do in my home, decorate my home. Right now, all of that is just not possible, and I'm not okay with that. So this is the course of action that I unfortunately am looking at. I am going to document the process. Good, bad, or indifferent. We're going to document the process from recovery to coming home to pain levels, and give you a really good sense, if you are facing this surgery, what you're looking at, what to expect. I have a good idea of what to expect, but I just am comparing to how my knee went, and my knee was extremely painful because I had a full replacement. This surgery, I'm a little concerned because right now my rotator is in perfect condition, and I'm afraid if they can't get it without damaging that rotator, it's going to take a longer recovery. Either way, it's one of those things, I have to have it done, so I am just resigned to the fact that I'm going to get it done, and we're going to try to be as positive and proactive as possible. One of the things that I find very interesting about my surgeon is I started on pretty heavy doses of protein every day, 7 days out from my surgery. So I've been drinking powdered protein along with protein drinks. So I've been trying to get over 80 grams of protein a day. I drink it in my iced coffee. I also am using Cliff bars because they are very high in protein, and I'm trying to get over that 80 mark. It's been a bit of a challenge, but just about every day I've gotten to 90 grams. So I've been doing it now since last Wednesday, to try to give my body every opportunity to have as much power on board to help with my recovery process. And I'll continue to do that after I get home and I'm starting to heal. Protein is the building blocks of everything. And so I would encourage you, if you are looking at this surgery, to really start that, get on it, and don't deviate from it. We will see. We didn't do this with my knee, so I'm going to be very interested to see if there is a significant difference between how that recovery went and how this recovery went. Now, obviously, a leg is a much bigger joint, and there's a lot more at stake because it's obviously walking and those type of things. So I know it's not going to be exactly the same, but I do think there's a lot of similarities, and I'm going to be very interested to draw those similarities and then give that information to you. So if you are actually facing this type of surgery, that you know exactly what to expect moving forward, from hospital to pre-admit to making the decision. So let's talk a little bit about making the decision. In February, I had my first shoulder repair. I had torn ligaments, and the rotator is intact. It has always been intact. This was an underlying underneath the rotator tear, and it was repaired in February. Unfortunately, that repair didn't heal properly. We're not sure if it didn't heal properly or if there was another underlying tear that was not visible at the time we did the first surgery. So we went back in May, and that definitely fixed the underlying ligament issue. But I was still having immense pain. During that second surgery is when there was some more exploration done in the shoulder to determine that I had class 4 osteoarthritis. Now, the thing about that is that was done in May, and I knew in September I'd be traveling overseas, so there was no way I could possibly consider replacement until now. I didn't want to have replacement surgery in the summer and then be trying to travel internationally after that kind of surgery. It just would have made my trip, I couldn't have done it. So we delayed my surgery by using steroid injections, of which I've had 4. got a little bit of relief, but not enough to overcome the grinding and other symptoms that I'm having, the grinding, the popping, the pinching, and the pain, which is from the osteoarthritis. So there's been a lot done prior to making the decision for this replacement. It's not going to improve. That's the key. Once you get to this point, just like with my knee, I had 3 surgeries before my knee replacement surgery too. So we tried everything we could before we got to the point where we had to have the replacement. And we've done the same for my shoulder. So I feel like, yes, we are doing everything we could possibly do to help or prevent a replacement. It's just unfortunate that this is where we are, and now this is my only option. I don't want to say I'm disappointed. I'm a little frustrated in that we don't have a cure for osteoarthritis. You would think at this stage in our community, our medical community, we would have a lot better options, but we just don't. And so this is where we are. So I am planning on doing full exposure here. I'm going to do video from when I get home. I'm going to do video in my immediate arrival home, just to explain nerve blocks and how well those work on the way home, when those nerve blocks start to wear off, how long I'm in the sling, am I in the sling? A lot of that I don't have answers yet, but I will when I wake up on Wednesday. I am doing this outpatient with the hopeful opportunity to go home. A lot of that's going to depend on what happens with the surgery. How big is it a full replacement? And then what kind of pain control I have the day of surgery, and that will determine whether or not I can come home. I hope so. You always heal better at home than you do in the hospital, and you don't want to get sick. So I would much prefer to just come home. So that's my goal, is to be able to come home that day. And then we're going to document the process so others can learn and be prepared if they too are facing a replacement of some sort. You know, our technology and our medical advances are truly astounding. People with these type of replacements would take years to recover. Now it's weeks, and that's amazing. And I'm very encouraged by that. I want to recover quickly, so I have my whole year next year to be pain-free and do all of the things that I want to do, and just have a better chance to be my fullest potential. And right now that's not possible. So I'm very excited about that opportunity to have. And at this time of year, for what I do for my career, I own an insurance agency. This is our slowest time of year, so it is the perfect time for me to have this done, where it is not quite so busy and I can manage what does come in from working remotely. So it is the perfect timing for me to have this done as well. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. You know, at Conversations at Kerrie's Korner, every subject is on the table, because I want to be able to facilitate conversation. And so any subject is welcomed. I welcome your feedback. I welcome your requests. Hopefully we'll get to a point where we can get some interactive content going here as we get into 2025 and as the audience grows. And please share if you would. You know, we have lost our ability, it seems, in the U.S. anyways, to talk to each other, to have conversations about things that we differ on, rationally, intelligently, calmly, and respectfully. And Conversations at Kerrie's Korner, well, that's what it's all about. Us coming together and talking about the issues. We don't have to agree. Life would be boring if we were all the same, but we do have to be able to talk to each other rationally, calmly, and respectfully without insults, because that's where change starts, when we learn to communicate with each other. So I hope Conversations at Kerrie's Korner helps facilitate that conversation. And I do want to hear from you. I want some feedback. If you have questions during this process too, this recovery process, please just send me a message and I promise I will get to you. I really will. That's why I'm doing this, is to help others who are facing the same situation to know what to expect honestly from somebody that has lived through it. Not just medical videos where everything is always presented as rosy and good. There may be days that I feel like I don't want to talk to you, and that's okay too. I'm going to, because I want you to know the full process, the full recovery. So if you are facing this decision, you're informed so you can make the right decision for you. So it's Wednesday. I will start my second and following podcasts on Wednesday. I will start it in the morning when I arrive at the hospital and explain that process. And then I will talk to you once I wake up and I have my faculties enough around me that we can do a video and I can give you an update. And I'm going to try to do them as often as possible so you truly get an idea of what it is like to make the decision for replacement, plan the surgery, and then actually have it and recover. And I hope it helps somebody else make the decision so they can take a positive step to feeling better, because that's what it's all about. I want to play with my grandchildren. I want to swim and run and bake and pick them up. And right now I can't do that. And I need that to change. God bless you on this cold, chilly Monday from Texas. I hope wherever you are, you have a splendid week. Thanks for joining us here at Conversations at Kerrie's Korner. How did this all come about? I want to just leave you with an idea and put a picture in your mind. You know, we had, in our good old days, the U.S. was dotted with these beautiful, beautiful diners. Do you ever go to one of those where you walk in and you go, oh, it's so amazing in here? Clean, sparkling red leather and chrome, or what other color schemes there are. There's so many of them. And you'd sit down at the bar and you'd have a coffee or a slice of pie or a hamburger and a milkshake. And you'd meet somebody that you've never met in your life. And you could come away from that meeting with a new friend, a new position on a subject that you thought you were set on, because you have a conversation, because you were open to listening to somebody else's point of view. And that's what we've got to get to. We've got to get back to that place. So I hope you will think of Conversations at Kerrie's Korner, of that beautiful local diner. You could sit down, grab a coffee or a drink, have a conversation with a new acquaintance, and maybe come away with a different perspective or more information about a subject that you thought you knew enough about. Because that's where real change can start, is back at Conversations, coming to the middle, listening and respecting each other. That's where we can truly make a change in our society. And I hope you join me along the way for Conversations at Kerrie's Korner. This is Kerrie. Have a splendid Monday, a splendid week, and I'll see you at surgery on Wednesday. God bless everyone. This is Kerrie.